So last week I did a poll on LinkedIn asking students to tell me what they would like me to record a short video on. I thought it was going to be losses or takeovers, but no, the number one vote was for me to tell you what the number one mistake is that I see ATX students making. So let me tell you what the number one mistake is that I see ATX students making, and then I'm going to give you 3 tips for how to make sure you avoid doing that. So people think that advanced tax is just going to be lots of calculations, but they are wrong. In actual fact, advanced tax is probably more narrative than it is calculation based. And students find that surprising. And if you are spending all your time looking at pro formas and calculations and tax rates and thresholds, and you're not thinking about how you actually apply that information to a specific client situation, then you're going to find advanced tax a bit of a struggle. So my top 3 tips for dealing with the narrative parts of the exam. Tip number 3. Please make sure that you are doing lots of question practice from past paper questions so that you start to see the style of questions and notice how many marks are actually for narrative answers versus calculations. Tip number 2, don't miss out the obvious. If you're talking about business asset disposal relief, explain why it applies in the case that you're looking at before you go on to do any calculations. Pick up the easy marks for explanations. Number 1, pay attention to the wording of the requirements. Very commonly, we'll see something like explain with supporting calculations. What does that mean? It means that the majority of your answer is going to need to be narrative with some calculations that are going to support your advice to the client. The calculations are a means to an end. So make sure you're not just doing the calculations, think about how that information can apply to the specific scenario you're looking at. If you found that helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and also check out the other couple of videos there that I'm recommending you look at next.